Hi everyone, welcome to this session with your coach Deepa. I hope you all are doing great. Swami Vivekanand rightly said the difference between extraordinary and ordinary person lies in the degree of concentration. And when we try to concentrate, our mind just wanders in all the direction, thinking, planning and analyzing. In today's time and age, it is so difficult to attain focus and concentration on one thing because our mobile are on us all the time. Getting that focus is so difficult because we are distracted so easily. So, today we are going to discuss how to attain this focus and concentration on a single task. Also, I would be giving you 3 brain hacks at the end of the session, and I assure you, if you can practice or inculcate these 3 brain hacks, this concentration and focus can be a part of your system. First, we will understand how our brain memorizes and forms a habit. Our brain has almost 1 billion neurons, and each neuron has almost 2000 to 10,000 dendrites. These dendrites connect with the dendrite of other neurons and forms a connection with the help of synapse. And when we do things repeatedly every day, there is a thin fat layer that deposit around these circuits and make it stronger and strengthens its memory, and it becomes a part of our habit, and we do it in kind of an autopilot mode. What is happening now, because we are so distracted all the time, even if we are at the laptop, we have 10 windows open along with our main window. And if we have mobile with us, either we are going on the Facebook or Twitter or Insta and what not on the social media. So our distraction rate is so high. So what we are strengthening? We are strengthening circuits for distraction. And that's what we are becoming masters at, that is distraction. There is a beautiful documentary I would recommend all of you to please see it. It is called A Social Dilemma. It is showing the harmful effect of mobiles and social media on our entire physiological, emotional and physical well-being. I would recommend all of you to please see that. It's not that we don't have focus and concentration. We do have focus and concentration, but only on the things we like to do. There's certain things we just don't enjoy doing it, but still they are important and we need to attain focus on that. For example, studying or doing something or learning new skill, they're important. But you don't have that instant gratification on that, because when you are on mobile, when you see a message, when you go on Facebook, when you go on Insta, you browse your Chrome, there is an instant gratification. There is a burst of dopamine that is secreted in your blood, and that gives you a feel good factor. But that doesn't happen with the things which we don't like to do. There is no instant gratification. So to get used to these kind of things, we need to create a momentum first. Momentum first, so that we look forward to do things which we don't like doing. How will you get that momentum? First of all, you will use this beautiful technique which is called as Kaizen Technique. You will take the task and you will break the task into small chunk or small bite-sized task, and you start doing this task in a stipulated time. The same concept is given by the Pomodoro technique, in which they say that use your 25 minutes and use that completely for that task which you want to do, and it is important. And that 25 minutes you will not be with your mobiles and your laptops. And if laptops are important, only one window which is specific to your work, that should be open, not 10 windows parallelly that we generally open. We will just concentrate those 25 minutes on one thing. And after 25 minutes, we can take a break of 5 or 10 minutes. Again, we will come back, set an alarm for 25 minutes, and again we will focus on that given single task at a time. And we will find slots of these 25 minutes in an entire day. This will help you to rebuild your focus. And there is a concept of 20-80 rule that is called as Pareto rule. In this rule suggests that 20% of your work gives you 80% of your result. So those 25 minutes that you are setting to on one task, you need to know what you are focusing on. So that is your 20%. So for that, you will jot down your task. I mean, 5 top tasks in a day that you want to do. And you give numbers to those tasks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you will pick first 2 because they are the most important tasks. And then you will do those 2 tasks in those 25 minutes. And you will not come to 3, 4 or 5 until those 2 first tasks are completed. So in this way, using this Pomodoro technique and Pareto principle, you can attain focus on a given task. There is also a concept called circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is our body has this clock system of 24 hours. In these 24 hours, we are productive at a certain period of time, we are lethargic at a certain period of time, and we are completely drained at a certain period of time. So you need to know which is your most productive circadian rhythm. So according to research which says that morning time is the most important and productive time for the circadian rhythm. But I see different people have different time frames for productivity. Some have night hours as productive hours. So use those productive hours for your 20% work. This rule is so beautiful. If you think logically, 20% of customers give 80% of profits. 20% of the songs sung by the singer gives them 80% of the result. That's how this 20-80 rule works, and you can use it for yourself for attaining that focus and concentration. And the next tip is you need to remember to repeat whatever you are doing, and repeat to remember, because the more you will repeat, the more neural connection would be strengthened and it will become a part of your habit. According to the advanced psychological research, there is a scientist, Nihai Csikszentmihalyi. He has studied a lot on attention, and almost a decade of research have brought a concept which is called as state of flow. What is the state of flow? He says that a person is in a state of flow when he or she is completely focused in a given task. And how that state of flow comes? When we are doing a task which is like very high as compared to our skill set, we would feel very anxious. For example, I go to a workplace, my skill building is still small, but they have given me a task which is very challenging and I find it difficult to do. So there I will not be able to maintain that state of flow. Also, if my skill is very high and the task which is given to me is very low in comparison to my skill, then also I would not be able to attain that state of flow. But if my skill and my challenge which is at par, I would be in a state of flow. Like when a painter painting a picture, he or she doesn't even remember how many hours they are putting into one canvas, because that time they're in that state of flow. If you want to get into the state of flow, you have to find the right skill set which is in match with the task that you have taken. But if your task is really high and your skill set is not that apt, divide your work into small chunks and keep completing this work in small work. That will give you a feeling of accomplishment. And if your skill is high and work is not that challenging, you have to increase your bar in challenge to get that state of flow. And especially for students, if you want to get that state of flow, because exams are just around the corner and you need to study for long hours, and because of this distraction, it is very difficult for you to put your focus and concentration. Please don't think that, okay, tomorrow I'll be able to complete the whole chapter, or tomorrow I'll be able to complete the whole book. You can never get into that state of flow. Either you would be so much anxious or you will be bored totally, and you will keep on procrastinating till the exam comes. And then you would really in a stage of panic. For that, take this 25 minutes slot more often in the day. Put your entire focus and entire concentration for that 25 minutes and see how it works for you. And it is a practice, If you are just listening, what you are doing, you are strengthening your circuits only for listening. So you need to practice and experiment for yourself whether it is working for you or not. Maybe 25 minutes is too less for you. Maybe you can attain that time slot of 1 hour, 2 hour without any distraction. And if you keep practicing it for the long time, you will attain that state of flow and you will attain that focus that you're looking for. So now let's discuss these 3 brain hacks. First is meditation. Don't be afraid. I'm not asking you to sit for hours in meditation, but your mind is always thinking. It is never on rest. You need to put your mind on rest by just 2 minutes of silence every day, because you need to calm down your mind. Your mind is filled with information, overloaded. You are always overthinking. It is never empty. So just sit in silence for 2 minutes and observe the sounds around you. Observe the breath of yours just for 2 minutes. And if you would do this, do it for 15 days. You will yourself find the change. I'm practicing meditation from last 7 years and I know how impactful it is, because when you do it, it is a proven science. When you practice silence, there is a rush of these doses, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonins, and endorphins, biomolecules in your blood. These are all happy molecules that gives you a feeling of happiness. And when a mind is happy, when the mind is silent, you can focus more. Rather, when the mind is agitated, disturbed, and frustrated, you can never focus and you can never get into that state of flow. The second hack is sleep. Yes, sleep is so important to get you that focus and concentration. Actually, I can speak for 2 hours just on sleep, because throughout the day, our brain uses 20% of the energy our body produces. And when it uses this energy as a byproduct, it secretes a molecule known as beta-alanine. And this beta-alanine, it's toxic for our brain. There's another molecule which is called as cerebrospinal fluid. It enters in our brain and it flushes out this beta-amylase. Today, our mind is so busy, there is not much space for cerebrospinal fluid to go inside and flush out this toxin beta-alanine. So when you sleep, mind is not too much busy that time. So there is a space in which this cerebral fluid can enter and flush out this toxin. It is so important because it erodes. If it is still in the mind, it is toxic for the brain and it erodes many neural connections. The third and the last is exercise. That is a brain hack. You need to exercise, because when you exercise, the oxygen pumps into your blood, pumps into your brain with a greater speed, and its efficiency just increases multifold. And when you exercise, your body produces many biomolecules, and that is good for your system in concentration and focus. Attention is just like a muscle. More you practice to give that muscle a weight. Same way, when you exercise, you are adding weight to that attention, which is like a muscle. So exercise is equally important. Please set a time frame in the morning or in the evening so that you can go for a walk and you can run, or you can do some stretching, any exercise of your interest. So these 3 brain hacks, that is your sleep, your exercise, and if you sit in silence for 2 minutes, that can do wonders for your concentration and for your focus. So just to conclude what we have just discussed in today's session, we need to understand how our brain forms the habit. So we have to reprogram our brain so that it can add new habit of concentration and focus. For that, we have many tips like Pareto principle and Pomodoro technique and Kaizen technique, in which we divide our work into smaller tasks and do it and feel that sense of accomplishment. Along with that, we have discussed about 3 brain hacks, that is your sleep, your exercise, and your meditation, or we can say mindfulness. So please do it. In the end, I would not ask you to subscribe, like, or forward this video. I would just request you to please practice these tips and these hacks, because focus and concentration is so important. Remember, quality of your life depends on what you focus and how much you focus. Both things are important. Thank you. God bless you. See you next time. Bye.